Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. We're here at Stingaree Restaurant and we're going to start a new series monthly where we sit down and talk to Brad and really dive deep into Stingaree Restaurant history, the fresh seafood, fabulous margaritas, free sunsets, and really let you know what Stingaree is all about and what you can expect when you get here. Brad, family-owned restaurant for generations. Let's start off with that.
Yep. Stingaree, my dad and Uncle George built this thing back in '86, opened in '86. December 13th, 1986 was our official birth date. And but you know, before that, my family has been in the restaurant business since it came over from Greece. So that's been a minute. But you know, we had the other restaurant up on the highway. Dad and his father had a restaurant up in Beaumont, Jim Steakhouse and Golden Arrow. But down here in 1968, my grandmother had bought the Gaslight restaurant, and at the time, Dad had bought the Stingaree. It wasn't operational. It had a little fire, and he was redoing the bake camp and got it going. We dip minnows and think about our futures. But built this, got with Uncle George and said, hey, let's build a building down here at at Stingaree and see how it goes. And so they had both restaurants there for a second. And wasn't long after this thing just kind of took off. You know, part of the experience of being on the water, you get to the beach, you get off that highway. Highway will get you here. We did really well with the restaurant on the highway, but just the experience and the aura of being on the water, because that's what you came here for, I think has lent itself a lot of success to Stingaree over the years. So.
Hey everybody, well, we've moved outside to continue this saga at Stingaree Restaurant. Once again, I'm here with Brad, and you know, we were talking about the history inside, but sunsets, and I've seen proposals, anniversaries, birthdays, everything on the dock of the bay here at Stingaree Restaurant, and it's a free sunset. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's a free sunset. We need to start talking about these proposals, though. Maybe. No. You know, I think we've talked about it in the past, but sunsets, I have people, you know, from down here tell you, we've traveled all over the world, and that's the best dang sunset we've ever seen. And it is. It's a great one. We're positioned right, the water's right, it falls right. It's a hell of a sunset to come down, drink a Stingarita, and hang with homies, or roll over and let that gal talk you into living the rest of your life with her or something. Yeah, it's a great idea.
You know, in March, I took a picture when I first started of the margarita on a chair, and I probably can never duplicate that again. But it sets right down the intercoastal in March, if I'm not mistaken, and then in June, July, August, it's over at Smith Point, and you can't beat the clear skies, maybe a little haze, that color that it, you know, between the green margarita, the green lime in the margarita, and the
Texas City fumes. Yeah, it makes a hell of a show.
Well, we're here on the dock in front of the shrimp boat and the Miss Kim. Let's talk fresh seafood, because there's no imported here.
None.
And it's most of it, or all of it, let's talk about locally sourced.
So, you know, talk about shrimp. Shrimp come from either JB Seafood down here at the beach. We buy quite a bit from him. And then we also buy from Catfish Kitchen, Fisherman's Reef out of Port Arthur, Packet Plant, which we have since I started at Stingaree back in '07. And I believe my Uncle George bought from Hemingway at JBS and Fisherman's Reef. So we've always sourced and bought our shrimp locally. And people tell me all the time, you can tell the difference. Of course you can.
Yeah.
Of course you can. There's a shrimp, and it tastes like a shrimp, and it's not farm raised in a ditch somewhere. And so no, our shrimp are as good as it gets as far as what you're gonna get on the table. You know, all of our crabs. We've got a crab in our logo. One of the things that we're proud of is we do source those locally. Delano Como is Daddy Joe, been bringing us crabs for, again, as long as I've been here. And if we don't have them, it means they didn't catch them.
Yeah, and there's certain times of the year that happens.
Yeah, and sometimes they're better than others, and sometimes, you know, but I can guarantee you the only crab you're going to get in this restaurant came from East Galveston Bay.
Great. Let's talk steaks. Man, he's got a fillet, and I will put that fillet up against anyone. cut it with a fork, really.
Dollar for dollar, I would say compare us to anybody else in Southeast Texas, and you'll get the finest steak that you can possibly get. My grandfather, Jim Vratis, owned Jim's Steakhouse in Beaumont, way back before I was ever thought of. Well, maybe Dad was thinking about it. I don't know, but you know, he had that place, and I remember one of our customers, while way back, said, "Yeah, your steak's not that good." Well, we went to school, and it's all about buy. You buy good product, you can put out good product. So we learned what to purchase. But that filet with a little lump of crab meat on it, yes, sir.
But your ribeye,
Yeah.
you and I have done a show on them. Let's talk about your ribeyes, because there's your ribeye and then there's other ribeyes, and there's a difference in the weight and what you're getting for that weight for a lot of them.
So we trim our ribeyes. We hand cut everything there, and we take the fat cap off. If you're not familiar with the cut, this makes no sense to you at all, but we trim the tail off. We get all the excess fat that you're not going to eat anyway.
Right.
Anybody can tell you they sell a 12, 14, 16 ounce steak, but when you leave those residuals on there, you're not getting steak. You're getting stuff you're going to cut off, move over, put in the bag, take home to the dog, or what have you. Again, Miguel does a great job in our kitchen putting out a product that we can be proud of. So,
now let's talk community. You're a big part of the community down here. I really don't see an event down here that you're not a part of, and you give back to the community. In fact, we just finished the Brad and Big Rich's Cajun Chef's Cook-Off. Let's talk about your community involvement a little bit.
My family has been involved in this community since back in the late 60s. I personally have a focus where I focus my attention more on community, and that has to do with children. I was just blown away. We're standing here with the Miss Kim, and Alvin Melchak ran that boat and worked with my dad since I was a little bitty kid, and great family. Liddy has stepped up and taken care of that Peninsula Sports Park, and I was just overwhelmed by the kids she was able to bring down, and they fished, and just had a great time. The Crab Festival, Texas Crab Fest Charities, and what they're able to do with kids in the community, and they're offering, phenomenal. There are some things that we're not as involved with. If it has to do with, anything, it's not a kid.
Right.
We're not as involved, as we probably could be. But like I said, it's mine and Casey's season right now is we're raising children, and we focus as much of our attention on kids as we can.
Let's talking about KC, and I watched your kids.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
Sorry, I try to just roll with the flow, but I will say this, and I think you hear this in most communities. Well, our community really comes together, and even with little things that happen within communities, this person likes this person like this. This community really does work hard for itself. Geographically being removed from a governing body, the community itself, there are many actors in this community that do little things that no one knows about. And I wish I could name them all, so I'm not going to even name one, but there are lots of people in this community that do a lot of things to keep it kind of moving and remain sustainable. So anyway, that just popped into my head talking about community.
Let's talk family. One thing I've noticed is you're big on family, which everyone should be, especially with kids involved, but you have a Stingaree family. You have live music that's family oriented, and I can remember going to Tin Hall out in Cypress, and Mom and Dad were out there dancing and the kids were running and playing, and that's sort of the atmosphere that Stingaree has, or that you've built.
And the places that we visit when we leave Stingaree, I take my family. There's Joe Jimmy's up in Concan. Anybody knows me knows we spend a lot of time up there. There and the Lakey, Garner State Park.
Garner
the girls,
State Park.
The Emily and her buddies go out and dance and all that. So yeah, we want to have the same atmosphere here. I mean, let's face it, Bolivar, we don't have industry, so we sell 5-day vacations.
Right.
And when you bring your family in here, we want a place where family can go.
There
are more places now on this peninsula that are doing that and that lend themselves to what we are and who we are, and it's a terrific thing. I don't think we've always been that way. We relied very heavily on that beach and what happened on that beach, and Not that we still don't. We do. I would hate to ever see us
See
not
it
be able to
gone.
occupy and have a good time on that beach. But you know, there are businesses down here along with Stingaree that do a lot of family things. But yes, you know, our music. If our music doesn't suit, if your child is here and it didn't work out, you let me know.
Right.
You know, we don't have those folks back. But no, we've tried to create something that caters to the folks visiting to us. We want them to eat with us, but the entirety of the experience is very, very important.
You know, I've been involved with Brad and Stingaree since I was guiding, a lot younger. Now I'm older. But one thing's for sure is it's still a travel destination. It's still family oriented, and you can get great seafood, fresh seafood here no matter what's going on. Like you said, if you don't have crabs, it's because the Comos didn't catch any. You know, the steaks aren't vacuum sealed. They're hand cut here, and they're cut as needed. And so from Team Bolivar, thanks for everything. You've been with me since I kicked off the 5 webcams and been a big part of it. And thanks for everything you do in the community. And we're going to have a show once a month with Brad talking about something at Stingaree. We've covered the history now and a little background, but we're going to dive into shrimp preparation, oysters. Oyster season's here. In fact, the Oysters Jubilee's in full swing right now. And so we're going to dive in and let you know exactly what's going on.
And it's the best time of the season or year to be at the beach.
Oh,
we may have our little
weather.
fronts, but my gosh, the weather is just phenomenal.
Well, when we recorded inside, it was cool outside.
Yeah.
Today we're finishing up. You're in shorts. I'm in shorts, and we've got another front in 2 days, so that'll make the duck
everything
get the
you
duck
like.
hunters happy. So we're going to head on out. We'll be back next month with another show with Brad, talking Stingaree Restaurant and what you can expect at this travel destination on the upper Texas coast. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.
Stingaree Restaurant and Marina, located overlooking an East Galveston Bay at 1295 North Stingaree Road in Crystal Beach, Texas. Known for their incredible views over East Galveston Bay, almost as much as their fabulous fresh seafood, including seafood platters fried or grilled, seared or grilled tuna, hand-cut steaks, and let's not forget their famous bread pudding. Stingaree Restaurant isn't just any restaurant, it's a travel destination with frosty margaritas, fresh seafood, and free sunsets over East Galveston Bay. From fresh seafood to American favorites like Texas-sized chicken fried steak, grilled chicken, or hand-cut grilled ribeye or filet. Remember, from spring through fall, free live music can be heard every weekend at Down Under on the dock of the bay. For more information on Stingaree Restaurant, Marina, RV Park on the Water, or event live music calendar, visit www.stingaree.com.